Hi everyone, before I get into today's video, I want to give a shout out to one black booktuber, and today's shout out is going to be to Thistle and Verse. You can check out her channel. I will leave links to all her social media and her channel down in the description box below. She has just got over 100 subscribers, so congratulations to her. I hope she gets more subscribers going forward. She reads a lot of sci-fi and fantasy written by black authors, and one interesting book that she had in her last haul, which I think was from Christmas, one interesting book that she had was called Body Minds Reimagined, Disability, Race, and Gender in Black Women's Speculative Fiction, which sounded really good, so I may even check that out when I get the chance. So definitely go check out Thistle and Verse, and subscribe if you like her channel. Hi, my name is Justin, aka Ghost Reader, and today I am going to be doing part 2 of the Haitian Revolution. This video is part of my video series, Topics in Black History. And in this series, every weekday in February, I'm going to be releasing a video about a topic in Black history. So this is part 2 of my 3-parter on the Haitian Revolution. You can expect the 3rd part and final part of this series on Friday. Picking up where we left off in our last video on the Haitian Revolution, slaves in the colony of Haiti had decided, or San Domingue as it was known then, had decided that they were going to get together and fight for their emancipation. By the end of August, 15,000 slaves had risen up against their masters and were fighting for freedom. While all this was going on back in France, the National Assembly had decided that they were going to revoke the limited rights that they had granted to free people of color in the colony. This caused the free people of color to see that they had no other way to get those rights back but to also go and join the slaves in the uprising as well. With the colony in disarray, France decided to send 3 commissioners in order to reestablish their authority on the island and somehow bring all of this to an end. It's also in this period that Toussaint Louverture began to make a name for himself. Toussaint Louverture was a son of a slave, and he himself had gained his freedom and was now making a name for himself as a pretty good fighter and leader of men for the uprising. And just to give you an idea of how big this uprising was, in the north there were about 170,000 slaves. About 80,000 of them eventually joined the uprising. However, they were dealt a massive morale blow when one of the original leaders, Borkman, was actually killed in battle, unfortunately, and this caused the slaves to decide to try to negotiate for better conditions on their plantations. The white colonists decided that they weren't going to negotiate and actually attack the slaves of Baton, who, in the bid to get away, left behind their non-combatants, their women, their injured men, and their old and children. They thought that they would be safe. However, the white colonists killed some of them and then sold the rest back into slavery. Now in the South, blacks and mulattoes actually began to ally with the Spanish and with the British. And when the 3 French commissioners that had been sent by French to the colony arrived, many of them rejected the commissioners, and people like Toussaint Louverture actually went to go fight for the Spanish against the French. In 1793, with the conflict still going on, the city of Le Cap burned to the ground, and 10,000 whites fled the island, moving mostly to the United States. Here in the States, they spread the tales of atrocities of what was going on in Haiti, and that there was a slave uprising. This, of course, caused fears in the United States about what this could mean for their own slaves, because what if the slaves heard about what was happening in Haiti and decided that was a good idea to do the same here? Now, the commissioner, seeing that the island was maybe possibly lost with the Spanish trying to invade with the British on their way, the commissioners tried to get as many of these groups under control. So one of them, Paul Varel, actually offered freedom to certain slaves, slaves that were in the west of the island where he was, slaves that were fighting for the French, and some of the Maroons that were also fighting for the French as well. He offered them freedom. However, another commissioner went a step even further and declared a general emancipation of slaves in the area under his control, which was in the north, and his other commissioner, Povenel, eventually followed suit. Now, just because the slaves were free didn't mean that things became good for them all of a sudden. They still were working on the plantations they worked on before, and they began to argue that they should have land rights, be able to have their own land where they could, build a life for themselves. This would be an issue that would continually come up and actually cause some trouble further down the line. But even with the emancipation of the slaves and bringing more to their banner, the French still were not able to stop the British, who then split the island in half, basically between north and south. But the British goal was to bring Haiti under their control and then reinstate slavery so they can basically take the exports that the French were getting and send all that wealth back to Britain. And so the conflict continued. When the commissioners were actually called back to France in 1794, a mulatto, Andre Renaud, actually took control of the southern part of the colony, at least what was left in French hands. And Toussaint Louverture, who had been fighting with the Spanish, switched sides and began to fight with the French again because the Spanish were against emancipation of slaves. And together, Renaud and Toussaint Louverture began to fight the British and take back control of the island bit by bit. And slowly but surely, things began to get better for the San Domingue forces. So in 1795, the Spanish eventually signed a treaty with the French, leaving only the British as the foreigners that the people on the island the people in the colony had to fight. The Spanish, now no longer fighting in San Domingue, Toussaint Louverture and Andre Renaud were able to focus all of their forces on the British, and the British were eventually forced to surrender in 1798. Now, with outside forces defeated, it was now time to create peace within the colony. However, that will not be the case, and next will come civil war. That is it for this part of the Haitian Revolution, part 2. I look forward to seeing you guys look at part 3, which I'll have coming out, like I said, on Friday. Let me know how I did down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at GhostReads28, on Instagram at Justin the Ghost Reader, and on Goodreads. The link to that is down in the description box below. So as always, keep reading.